Right. Welcome tonight to Coach to Wise Up with Coach Wise. This is our second episode. Last week we talked a little bit about college camps, mega camps. I had my good friend Coach Gary Fisher on. I'm on here tonight by myself. I noticed, and what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. I noticed lately, especially last few months, all our student athletes is concerned more about athleticism, being out on the field, running, jumping, squatting, how much weight you wear, what your 40 times, all that good stuff. All that stuff good and dandy. But at the same time, tonight's show going to be about the academic part of being a student athlete in college in the different levels. So, normally when I do the academic pieces, because I speak all over the country for different organizations about the academic sides of the NCAA eligibility, and if you ever heard me speak, I really like to be more engaged with the audience, whereby, they can ask me all the questions they would like to ask me, and, it's a town hall meeting. And I really don't like to just talk academics straight out, but tonight I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna raise some questions, and if you guys have any questions you want to ask, any complex question you want to ask during the time, just go into, if y'all on watching this on Facebook, just put in the comment section your question. I'll answer your question live. If you're on Twitter, same thing. Instagram, same thing. We live on all social media channels. So the first thing I want to talk about, like I said, academics. And I like to deal with the academic part, real life, what I want to say. Everybody know you got to have 16 units to qualify to play college ball, okay? Everybody know you got to have your 16 units. Basically, if you're talking about Division I, you got to have your 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of science, 2 years of social science, what we call social studies as well, 4 years of any, 1 year extra to get your 16. And I was talking to a young man the other day and his parents, and he said, well, Coach, I said, what your GPA is? He said, well, my GPA is a 2.6. And my favorite question always be, who told you that? Okay. And he came back, it was on my transcript. My counselor told me that it was on my transcript. And he mentioned the word weighted GPA, unweighted, or core GPA and not core GPA. And I want to share this with you guys first. The NCAA calculates GPAs totally different than your high school do. The NCAA calculates GPAs in what we're going to call halves and wholes. For a year-long class, they give you 4 points for an A. For a year-long class, for a B, they give you 3 points. For a C, they give you 2. For a D, because a lot of schools still have D's, according to which state you're in, they give you 1 point. Okay. If it's a semester class, they give you 2 points for A's. They give you 2 points for A's. They give you 1.5 for B's. They give you a point for C's, and they give you 0.5 for D's. Okay. Of course, I didn't say F's. You get no points. Okay. Now, when you go halves and wholes that way, A is a B is a B, a C is a C. But most of your high schools, the way they calculate their GPAs, they come back and they say, if you got a 93 and an 87, they add it together, divided by 2, and they get a number, and they call that your GPA. That's fine. So a lot of times if when you're looking at your transcript GPA, be careful because there's been so many student athletes out here years to come say, well, hey, I had a 2.8, but when they went to the NCAA, they cut me short. They said I had a 2.6. That's the reason you had a 2.6. Okay. Another thing I want to mention when you say court, and people get this wrong all day long. Okay, is I had a parent say, well, yeah, coach, we straight. We got all our English class, math classes, science classes. Our school says a core class, this and that. Don't put all your eggs in that basket. Okay. The reason why I'm telling you that because do your homework and listen to the definition. There's a such thing as a Form 48H. What is a Form 48H form, Coach Wise? That's where every school in America that's where every school in America tell the NCAA the classes that they count as core classes and the descriptions so the NCAA can check off on it. Okay. Yes, every English class is not accepted by the NCAA. Every math class ain't. Every science class ain't. Every social study class ain't. Every foreign language ain't. It's according to what that description is come from your high school. I'll be honest with you. I know some schools that the NCAA don't count econ classes, economic classes. I know some schools they count economic classes. Okay, I can show you here in Atlanta, Georgia. You got high schools that's under the same board of education, and they got two different Form 48H forms with the NCAA. One school they said business law is a core class and it counts. But at school across town, business law is not a core class because the one that they counted for the core class, that's a magnet law school. Then I want to mention this also. We're talking academics, and I'm trying to hit on some things that I think is very important that people overlook. Well, let me step back one second. Another thing, you guys, especially you 2022 guys, 2023 guys, 2 years ago on the Division I level, the NCAA came back and they came out with what we call the 10-7 rule, okay? And a lot of you guys overlooking the 10-7 rule and don't understand 10-7 rule is your lifeline. 10-7 rule means out of the 16 units that you need to qualify, you got to have 10 of them completed going into your senior year, basically, okay? Okay, and 7 of them got to be English, math, and science classes, okay? Now, if you don't have that, you can't qualify for a division going into your senior year, and you get in your senior year, you can't go to a Division I school to qualify. Now, Division II don't have that rule. Okay, Division II don't have the 10-7 rule, so you can go to Division II. You can go to junior colleges. You can do this. Another thing, reason why academics is so important, and I know my next screen came up, but I want to touch on a couple of things. Back in the day, I'm gonna say the 80s, the 90s, part of the 2000s, kids, oh man, I just go to JUCO and I ain't worrying about the academic part. I go to JUCO, do my 2 years, 3 years, and go ahead to the 4-year school. But again, you got to pay attention to the NCAA. The NCAA changed rules every day. So a couple years ago, they gave what we say in the business, is they gave the junior college the death penalty. They said, okay, now you just could go to junior college, take a bunch of PE class, get you a PE degree, and keep it moving. Now they say, but you got to have so many science class, English class, plus you got to have a 2.5 GPA, plus you got to graduate if you're a non-qualifier coming from a junior college. Okay, man, that ain't easy to do. If you coming out of high school with a 1.9, 1.7, 2.0 GPA, you got to get that 2.5, and you got to take so many English, science, and math classes. Hey, that you can have you on that as well. Another thing I want to mention, because I just like to straighten out different things. Now, in the NCAA, we got several different levels, and there is some different rules, different levels. You got your Division I requirements, you got your Division II requirements, you got your Division III requirements. Then let's not forget, you still got the NAIA sitting out there as well, which is not governed by the NCAA, that has requirements. So where do you fit in? Now, what I always tell kids, the reason why I'm big on the academic side is it all starts with the academics. Everybody don't get athletic scholarship, and I'm going to keep it real with you, student athletes and parents tonight. Division I schools pretty much give you a full athletic scholarship. Listen to the words I'm saying now. Full athletic scholarship. Division II schools give you a grant and aid package. Okay, Coach Riley, what you mean by grant and aid package? Glad you asked. Okay, grant and aid package means when they come in, they say, okay, and I always tell kids this: GPAs plus test scores equal money, just as much as being an athlete. Okay, so when you go to the Division II school, and I'm just gonna give it to you shortly. If the school costs $10,000 to go to, and you got a 3.0 GPA, okay, now we ain't talking about the states that got the Hope Scholarship, this and that, 3.0 GPA. Some of those schools will give you money for that 3.0 GPA. So let's say that school say, Coach Wise, you got a 3.0 GPA on the academic side, we're gonna give you $4,000. Okay, cool. I'm starting out at 10, so I got 6 left. Because you took the test and you made a pretty good score on the test, we're gonna give you another $4,000 for that. So boom, I got about $8,000 already on the table. But some of you guys out here listening and say, oh, but the NCAA said, understand now, when you're a student athlete, you gotta understand you're governed by the NCAA, but you still gotta pay attention to other things. So a lot of y'all gonna say, well, coach, I ain't gotta take the ACT and the SAT. They done waived it. Man, if y'all get a chance to take it, take the test. The test for you guys that ain't going Division I, or you guys that might get an academic deal on Division I, you got to have that test score, because that test score is money. Okay, now, Coach Wise didn't say you got to have that test to qualify for the next class of 2022 and class of 2023. I didn't say that. I said we're talking money now. That's why academics, I wanted to do a show on academics, because it's all about the academics now. Okay, now with that grant and aid package type deal, now I'm at 8,000. I still got 2,000 on the table. So then they turn around and say, okay, are you a financial aid kid? Okay, financial aid kid mean, are you going to get a Pell Grant? Or how much money your mom and daddy make? So let's just say you're not a full financial aid kid for illustration purposes, but Pell Grant give you $1,000. Now you at $9,000. So what that football program do on Division II, it's up to them. They say, okay, we got his money there. So what we gonna do? How we gonna get it? How we gonna zero him out? Because I never said you couldn't zero out, but athletic scholarship and a grant and aid package is two different things still. Okay, now, and I'll go back and explain. Now, you got $1,000 on the table. That football program can say, hey, John, we're gonna give you that whole $1,000 out of our football budget. You zero it out. Or they can say, hey, John, we're gonna take and give you 500 on it. You got 500 left on the table. Either you pay it that 500 out of your parent pocket, or you go get a student loan to take care. Okay. Now, Coach Wise, can a Division II school give a guy a full ride? They can, but they'll be crazy, because what they're doing, they only have 36 scholarships to sign 100 kids off of it. You better be a first round draft pick that they can't miss on if they're gonna give you a full scholarship when they can sign 10 to 15 kids off one scholarship. So that's why your academics is so important. A lot of you guys looking at academics, what you should do, I qualify. I need to qualify. I need to get the minimum to qualify. The minimum is not good enough, fellas, because there's so much things behind it. Now let's go back and talk about the Division I schools when you heard me say athletic scholarship. Now, for athletic scholarship means we don't care if you, as long as you qualify, we sign you. We don't care whether you get academic money or not at the time, because we're going to pay you a full bill. Okay, we're going to pay you a full bill. That's an athletic scholarship, no matter what. Okay, so just like a lot of you guys out there talking about, I got offered, or I'm blessed for this offer. What did you get offered? What level did you get offered at? Okay, how much money they putting on the table? But academics plays a big role. I know, even we talked about camps last week, and I want to hear this. I sit back because, I am part of Tic-Tac Exposure, which is an NCAA compliance scouting service. I sit back, and every one of our events we do what kids don't understand. Yeah, we do events we run, we test, we put you on film, but everything we do also, when you do your registration, we ask for transcripts because we want to know your academic side. So basically, with a lot of our events lately we've been doing, we've been checking things. So I'm sitting back and I'm watching a few kids that I already know what their GPAs is. They went to camps this summer of schools that I know for a fact you got to have 3.2s, 3.3 GPAs just for them to recruit you and offer you. Question is that a waste of your time going to that camp? Because I'm telling you, them schools can't touch you because those academic type schools, yep, they got money, but if you ain't got the GPA, they're not going to mess with their rules. And a lot of guys can slide in on the Division I level with those type schools if they had the grades. That's why the academics is so important. So, my job here at Tic-Tac as well, I am the academic specialist. And one of y'all that's looking at the show tonight is welcome to hit me up. My Twitter handle is Coach Wise Up, as you see it there. Or you can go to our website and go to contact us and say, hey, have Coach Wise give me a call, because it's so much on the academic side that a lot of you and parents don't understand is more important than going running the 40. I'm sitting here watching guys, and the reason why I want to do this show, I'm watching guys at camps and going all over the country. I know a couple of kids probably done did 40-day in camps this summer, and all of them sitting on a 2.0 GPA. What you doing camps for? You need to be in summer school getting that GPA up, because those schools cannot touch you if you don't have the grades. Back in the day, we laughed because I came through in the 90s, early 90s, and we laughed. They used to say, I think they even did a movie one time, Blue Chips, and they said, man, look, we're going to give you cars and we're going to give you this and we're going to overlook this and we're going to pay somebody to do grades for you and to get you in. Them days over. Colleges don't have to wait on you to get your academics straight, because there's another one right behind you that looks like you. I looked at a guy's transcript just yesterday, and he was like, Coach, a lot of kids on my team is getting offered, but I don't know why I ain't getting offered. I'm just as good as them. First thing I went to check, let me go check this transcript. Let me see what's going on with the transcript. And I found out this young man had a 2.2 GPA. I'm telling y'all, a lot of schools ain't paying you no attention with 2.2 GPAs, 2.3 GPAs, even though, and let me mention this, Division I, to qualify, you need a 2.3, okay? If you got a 2.0, can Division I sign you? Yes. It's called an academic red shirt. What's the chances they're going to sign you an academic red shirt? Slim to none. Why would I sign you an academic red shirt and I know you can't play and you can't do nothing for me because you're based on probation for a year in the classroom when I can get somebody that took care of business up front, okay? So you got to get these GPAs up. You got to make sure, parents, that you get these guys in the right classes. I'm so tired of looking at transcripts. In ninth grade year, these guys took 3 PE classes, body sculpture, weightlifting, and health. They don't count. They don't count. You got to know what you're working with on here. So, that's a couple of things I wanted to mention. That was just top of my head. We can go on and on and on, parents. And again, I call myself an academic guru. I answer any question you would like for me to answer. Just hit me up on Coach Wise Up. That's on Twitter, on Instagram as well. And, we can talk. Kids that got learning disabilities, call me. Kids that got GPAs that under the minimum that need academic game plan, call me. If you just need to go get a tune up and make sure you're right, call me, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of people and a lot of student athletes think they got it all together, but they really don't, because they're looking at transcripts and everybody's saying, oh, man, you good. You got your course said this, and that class may not even count for the NCAA. And let me mention this because this show tonight is a little funny with me, because I feel like I'm just talking to the air when I like to answer your question. I'm going to give y'all a situation when I keep talking about the GPA and the core classes. The NCAA tells us that anywhere a young man or a young lady or student athlete take a high school course at, that's where we got to go get the transcript from. I had a situation one time, and this young man, good student, 3.8 GPA kid, and I kept asking his parents, hey, let me check his transcript for you. I want to make sure everything right. No, why? They good. They good. So they finally let me check the transcript going basically in his senior year, okay? And this young man went to what we call early college as well, okay? Which early college is, if some of y'all don't know, is where you're in high school, but you actually take classes on the college campus instead of your high school. So my brain was telling me, first of all, I looked at his transcript, and that school said with foreign language that if any of their kids took a foreign language class, they only offer Spanish, and if they took French, they took it through what we call Georgia Virtual. Okay, cool. All right, but when I was looking at this young man's transcript, he took a Latin class, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'm following the Form 48s." Okay, now, but then I knew the young man was in early college. Okay, so rule tells me if he was in early college, I need to go and get with early college and see their Form 48 as well. But when I went looking, early college didn't have a Form 48 because early college was owned by the high school that he went to. So that sent me right back to the high school Form 48. On the high school Form 48, and yes, parent, schools don't do everything right either. That's why you better be on top of it, okay? They do a great job, but there's a lot of stuff that you will be surprised what they miss. So when I went back, I said, well, we got a problem because this kid ain't gonna get counted for this class that he took that should count because, again, y'all say it was a core class, but it wasn't on the Form 48H, okay? So what I had to do in the long run to make sure this kid qualified and he got everything he needed, I had to call the superintendent and head counselor and say, hey, would y'all please call the NCAA and send your description for this Latin class because y'all do have kids taking Latin, but y'all Form 48 don't reflect it. It's a lot of things, parents, that you don't understand about the academics. Don't let you get caught up at the end saying, I wish I knew. I'm telling you now, get on it. Parents that got middle school kids, this is my belief, my only opinion. I only been doing this over 20 years. So this is just my opinion. That middle schooler, I wish I could take every middle schooler in the world. When they get in 8th grade and get ready to do their high school planning, I wish I could be in the living room and help you guys do the planning because a lot of these schools these days also got what you call 9th grade academies. Or they said, we're going to let kids get acclimated to high school. And when they get acclimated to high school, we ain't going to give it all to them at once, let them get used to high school. You can't do that for a student athlete, parent. Because if you're going to get them acclimated to high school and instead of giving them the core classes he needs, he's a student athlete or she a student athlete, you could be getting them behind. I just mentioned to you guys a few minutes ago about the 10-7 rule that a lot of people overlook. Okay, so that means if a kid come in high school, gonna get acclimated to high school, we're not gonna give him all the classes that he really needs to be on track, and he failed one class, he might be done, or we might can't come back from. Again, a few years ago, I can mess up in 9th grade all day long, mess up in 10th grade, and I can go get caught up in 11th grade. Can't do it no more. Know your business on the academic end of this thing. And I wanted to, talk a little academic tonight on this. I don't know if anybody put any questions yet in the chat or in that. But, I wanted to just mention some academic pieces because all these student athletes out here, these coaches out here, parents out here, it's good to put them on the field. Good to put them out there traveling. It's good to let them be on the social media. They so blessed, this, and that. But you got to get the academic first. I'm going to mention something else to you guys tonight before I go. And I'm willing to put this down on anybody that really want to challenge this. You got all these kids out here right now. They got 30 offers. They're so blessed to be offered from this, be offered from that. This is my challenge to you guys. I guarantee you that over 90% of those colleges that's offering those kids right now never seen the transcript, never evaluated the transcript yet. And y'all see it every year. Kids say, I got 30 offers, and then on signing day, he signed the JUCO. Because most of your schools come back, November, December, start putting a transcript. And they don't, when they put a transcript, they don't come back to you and say, hey, we see your grades ain't quite right, so we're going to work with you to get them up. They just stop calling you. They stop recruiting you. That's why you got to make sure your academics is tight first. Because I even had kids before that had the academic tight, wasn't getting recruited, and then at the end of the day, they the one got the shot because they was already ready. They wasn't getting ready academically. They was already ready to accept the offer when it came, so the school can sign them. Because I'm telling y'all, these schools ain't playing with academics no more. They can't afford to play around with academics. Do you understand? Division I schools have APR. They have to keep team GPAs. They want to bring guys in that's doing it in the classroom. Now, I didn't say, Coach Wise didn't say you had to be a 4.0 guy, but you do need to be at least a 3.0 guy, a 2.9 guy to make sure you're ahead of the pack. Because if you were the bottom tier guy, there's a lot of bottom tier guys out there. So, again, that was a couple of things I wanted to mention tonight and get over tonight. But as I say, we can talk academics all day long, learning disabilities, kids that's behind, kids that need academic game plans wrote, kids that need academic evaluation done, do it. Also, let me mention this before I go. The eligibility center. You need to make sure if you're in high school, you start your process with the eligibility center, okay? I didn't say that you had to do the whole process through, but you need to at least go register. That's something that you got to do to be recruited. Also, but you also can go there. Now they done changed that thing up so nicely that you send your transcripts in. They'll start breaking stuff down. Make sure you stay ahead, parents. Don't get behind, stay ahead, because I think a lot of parents and a lot of student athletes is chasing what they said. They're chasing the bag, but they're chasing the bag on the fields, on the courts, and stuff. But you got to chase it in the classroom as well. In order to, don't forget, the word student athlete says student first in the classroom, athlete last. And as I say, the finish, I've been in the business over 20 years. Then represent some of the smartest student athletes in the world. Then represented some of the not so smart student athletes in the world. But I'll tell you guys what, you gotta always have a stepping stone, because athletic part on the field, no matter who you are, gonna be over with one day. And you need to take what you got with the academics and get you a good degree to take care of your family. So again, I appreciate you guys tonight. Just wanted to share a couple academics tips. Like I said, you can follow us on. You can go to our website and go to contact us at tictailconsulting.com. Leave a message, have me call you. I don't have a problem calling you. You can call me 334-521-2934. You can go to the web. Like I said, you can hit us on social media at Tictail Expo. That's Twitter. That's Instagram, Coach _Wise Up. That's me on Twitter. Of course, you can go to the Facebook page or Wise Up with Coach Wise. Hey, if you want to get in touch with me, you can. Any questions you got, I'll be happy to break it down and answer it for you. And I appreciate y'all coming on the show tonight. And I will see you guys again next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Thank you.